I can't get over the fact that I was supposed to achieve certain things by now. If this is something that has been bothering you quite hard and you wish to find peace, then this video is for you. Every time that I hear someone using the words of shoulda, coulda, woulda, supposed to, I ask that person to notice how they feel saying these words. What type of feeling is behind those words? And usually I get an answer of pressure, anxiety, guilt, shame, regret, bitterness, resentment. Basically resistance to what is or what was. Basically what these words do for us is that they create no peace but stress, and these words keep us stuck in our minds. In other words, stuck in a fiction that never happened. Question: is there anything we can do right now or later on to change what happened? The answer is no. It's a losing battle. What happened, happened. We can't delete the fact that it happened. And it's extremely exhausting way to live and to spend our precious time and energy. It's futile to fight life. People often say, I wish I was able to choose better. What is important to realize that often when we say that, we forget that it's easier to do that when we've had hindsight, after the decision was already made. Everyone is smarter after the war, as the saying goes. When it comes to decision making, it's not always clear in the moment which decision to make. And in that case, any guess is as good as another. And in this context, it is very important to make a decision, even if we don't know 100%, in order for us to not remain stuck in the decision-making process, overanalyzing, overthinking, like getting paralyzed and getting nowhere. If we want to move forward and making a decision is required in a certain context, then we make a decision, because we get feedback, and from that feedback then we can see if we can adjust. How often do we hear from high achievers that action trumps perfection, or success loves speed, or you learn along the way? It's simply impossible to figure out everything before we get any feedback. We can plan as much as we want, and we still don't know how the future will turn out for us. That's the life. big part of life is uncertainty. And even if our earthly human mind tries to convince us that, well, that was definitely a mistake, perhaps, perhaps not. Sometimes there is a higher purpose in that experience, and we were simply led to have it because we needed that experience to learn a valuable lesson or gain an insight. So, in that sense, it can still be seen as a stepping stone. Often we are focused on that ideally our trajectory moving forward should be linear, straight. But in life, it never happens like that. We go sometimes forward, then one step back, then forward, and then back, or then left, then forward, then right, then forward. So it's messy. It's never like fully linear. The word should indicates that we did something wrong. Either we didn't what we should have done, or we did something completely different. So why do we even care? Why is there this perception that I'm worried if I did something wrong? Like why do humans care about that? The thing is, we care because we attach meaning to the fact that we did something wrong. And usually this meaning goes along the lines of, if I did something wrong, then there's something wrong about me, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not deserving and I deserve to suffer or get punished, etc. This is a deep conditioning that comes from our early childhood, and even long before that. It's encoded in our DNA from ancestral times. Humans are social creatures, and one of their primal needs is belonging. And in ancient times, if you fucked up and you were cast out from a tribe, that meant certain death. When we as children seek validation and we don't get it, at some point we will create meaning out of this experience that there is something wrong with us, or we did something wrong because we didn't get what we needed or we wanted. And this experience makes children self-conscious, and they become insecure. And this is a deep and serious wound. So the question is then, how do we heal it? We start healing this wound by understanding that it doesn't matter what we do or what we did or what we have or what we don't have or what someone did to us or did not to us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change our intrinsic value as divine beings. Everything else besides that is just a noise. Blah, 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 blah. Words, narratives, opinions. So what? They don't matter. If these words, narratives, noise didn't exist in the world, how would you view yourself then? I invite you to reflect on that. The last thing that I want to add is, every time that we feel shame, which basically means I'm not good enough, we are invited in that moment to validate ourselves, because behind the shame, the need is the validation. And that's what we need to do. We need to find different ways that works for us, how we can start validating ourselves more and more and more, to remind ourselves that we matter, that we love ourselves, we respect and we accept ourselves. That's how we heal this wound of not feeling good enough and overcome shame. Take care.